And welcome to episode 84 of the AverageMarks Pro Wrestling Podcast. We are broadcasting live from the CBD4U.net. Oh, let me turn down these speakers over here, Patrick. I always get that here.
Yeah, man, we don't want that feedback over there, man. We don't want that feedback.
Oh, Marcus Talbert's already in here. What's up, dude? Such a noob over here. But like I was saying, we are broadcasting live in the CBD4U.net studios. New sponsor. Glad to have them on board because CBD is an awesome product. 100% natural, 0% THC in all of their products. You can get chocolate, you can get cake pops, you can get oil, you can get rubs. They got everything, Patrick. Drinks, they got coffee, like K-Cup coffee.
I like coffee.
We got that K-Cup in the break room now. You saw that?
Yeah, the Keurig.
Yeah.
Well, that was Brad's old Keurig. I don't know if he's going to come get it or not, but
probably not. He's on the
big. It's a nice Keurig, though, and I have a love-hate relationship with Keurigs.
I might have to bring in those CBD K-Cups, and we'll try it one day.
Then I might have a love relationship with Keurigs.
Especially after you take a long bike ride the day before. And we'll hit it up.
All right.
And we'll get it from www.cbd4u.net. That's CBDFORYOU.net.
Yes, sir. We're broadcasting live today, but we're not video today. We're just audio today because our studio is a bit of a mess. They're doing some remodeling, so we didn't want to show the mess on the stream. But you can still hear us. Hopefully, I'm assuming you can hear us. So we're still broadcasting live right now on Periscope, Twitch, and YouTube. You'll just get the audio this week and not necessarily the video. But then again, who really wants to see us on video, you know?
I don't know. You never know. You might have some female admirers out there.
I'm so sure. Yeah.
We got one on mail call a little bit later on in the show.
All right. Yeah, if you say so. But
that's the first time you've gotten an email from a female.
Real?
That rhymes too.
Yeah, we rarely get emails, but once we get a couple of emails, and then that's when we finally do the mail call segment, which we're going to do today, which I forgot to add to the rundown. So let me go ahead and do that. We'll do that right before the rumor mill.
The only time that we've ever gotten an email from a female, I like how that just flows. An email from a female is when Bryce was on, and she was trying to hook up with Bryce.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, Bryce is he's a ladies' man. Bryce.
He's still single.
Yeah, he's still single. So anybody out there wants Bryce Boudreaux, he's still single and ready to mingle. But today's episode, Average Marks, number 84. We're going to talk about Raw Reunion that happened this past Monday. A lot happened there. A lot of folks are not too happy with how the episode really turned out as far as the standpoint of the continuity of the current storylines, but I enjoyed it, at least seeing all of the legends there. Also, yesterday, AEW on TNT announced their launch date, so we'll talk about that coming up. Also, SummerSlam weekend right around the corner in just a couple of weeks. We'll talk about everything, how that's starting to shape up that weekend. Also, Jimmy Uso got arrested, I believe, yesterday, so ironic how John Cena brought it up on Monday Night Raw, and then 2 days later, Jimmy Uso gets arrested. So we'll talk about that. And also, of course, mail call. We got a couple of emails. I believe we got, two emails? Two emails. Usually when we get two, we can say it's rare that we get it's rare that we get emails, but every now and again we do get an email, and now that we finally got two, we decided to go ahead and do a little mail call segment here. Also, a rumor mill, some Daniel Bryan rumors, some rumors about Raw Reunion, NXT rumors, and AEW rumors. So a lot of rumors to talk about. So that's all coming up on the Average Marks episode number 84.
That's right. Follow us on your preferred social media platform. We are there: Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. Just search The Average Marks. You'll find us. Also, if you like watching the Periscope lives, follow us.
Yeah. On any platform,
Give us some of those hearts. Is that what they do on Periscope?
Yeah, I think it's the hearts on Periscope. So
yeah, okay. Yeah. Slap those hearts on there. Just follow us. Also, if you like our content and you would like to help the content keep going and you would help the content get better, maybe we can get like a green screen.
Oh yeah,
and have some stuff behind us. That'd be
we
sweet.
could pretend like we're broadcasting live outside of like an actual WWE event. You know, it's not what we do; it's what we tell you we do.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, it would look cool though. It would look cool.
But you can help us out on our Patreon account, patreon.com/TheAverageMarks. You can start off with $1. You can go all the way up to Great Muda status, which is $50.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we got some pretty cool perks along the way.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, let's dive into our first topic. That is Raw Reunion. Took place this past Monday night. A lot of folks were talking about how they're going to, they did this episode to really boost the ratings. But I did hear that this particular Raw reunion was scheduled way earlier this year before they were really, of course, I don't know, the ratings started to really decline earlier this year. So maybe they sensed it was coming and they said, you know what, let's get a Raw reunion episode coming up later on this year. And I guess this past Monday was probably the Monday that they could get the most, legends, because there was a lot of legends there. I mean, tons of legends. I mean, I couldn't tell you the last time they had that many legends come together, obviously after they've all, been, they've retired from in-ring competition. You had Hulk Hogan, you had Stone Cold Steve Austin, who stole the show on Monday night, as he's done on many Monday nights. You had Ric Flair. You had Ron Simmons, who arguably had the best moment of the night. You had a couple of legends. I say a couple. You had a handful of legends that won the 24/7 title. Kelly won it. Alundra Blaze won it. Gerald Briscoe won it. Pat Patterson won it.
Pat Patterson became the oldest person ever to hold the belt.
Yeah, Pat Patterson became the oldest. Kelly became the first woman to hold the 24/7 title. Boy, does she look as good as ever. Speaking of looking as good as ever, y'all know how much I love me some Tori Wilson. And I will say this now. I said this to you earlier. I don't know who's in charge of, Universal, expressions, but there's that expression out there that's called, ages like fine wine. I would like to officially replace ages like fine wine with ages like Tori Wilson, because my goodness, she looks just as good, if not better, than she did back in the late 90s, early 2000s, which is absolutely amazing. So, yeah, Tori Wilson, one of my favorite parts, personally, of Raw Reunion. But so many, a lot of people want to talk about the bad parts of Raw Reunion. We're going to sit here and we're going to talk about the good stuff, because I think there was a lot of good stuff. Andrew Lane is in the chat. Road Dogg saying he forgot Billy was funny. Tori Wilson is ageless. Yes, she is. My goodness. If I can find a girl, in my life to marry that ages like Tori Wilson, or even ages half as good as Tori Wilson, I'm going to be straight upset.
I just married Tori Wilson.
I wish. So on Monday night,
got to win the lotto.
Yeah. So on Monday night, I'm trying to remember every single thing that happened. Obviously, the show started off with John Cena. There were reports he was going to be there. Then there was reports that he wasn't going to be there. But to my surprise, because the last report I had heard before I started watching Raw Reunion was that he wasn't going to be there, which was cool, because the list of, legends that were going to be there were, a very long list. Very long list. So when he came out, started the show, to me that was a good way to start the show. Get everybody a little fired up. Everybody misses John Cena. We hadn't seen him since he came out as the Doctor of Thugonomics at WrestleMania. But then, of course, he did his thing. And then the Usos come out, and, they kind of want to get into a rap battle with John Cena. And they learned very quickly that John Cena is not someone you want to get into a rap battle with, because, of course, he brought up their arrests.
They should have learned from their cousin Roman Reigns.
Yeah, and Roman, because he kind of schooled Roman on the mic too.
He did.
But, they learned very quickly that they don't want to get into a rap battle with John Cena. He pretty much, not necessarily buried him, but, yeah, he won that rap battle. Ironically enough, mentioning their DUI arrest, Jimmy, 2 days later, gets arrested for DUI. So we'll talk about that coming up a little bit later on in the show. But John Cena came out, kind of got the crowd a little fired up and whatnot, so that was pretty cool. Devon Dudley was there. Who I'm trying to remember. There were so many.
Rikishi was there.
Yes, Rikishi came out, of course. He's the father of the Usos. Rikishi came out, was in their corner. Devon was in the corner of the Revival. They had a little tag team match that was the first match of Monday Night Raw. The $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Yep. I was talking about the legends that won the 24/7 title. He bought the title from Alundra Blaze right after she was getting ready to dump it in the trash. Of course, we all remember that segment on Monday Nitro when Alundra Blaze showed up with the WWF, then Women's Championship on Nitro, and trashed it. And she was getting ready to trash that 24/7 title. But then the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, came out, made the save, and bought the title, which someone brought up an interesting note on Reddit, because years ago Ted DiBiase bought the WWE Championship from Andre the Giant. And I don't know if they ever necessarily recognized Ted DiBiase as the WWE Champion, but if you're going to recognize him as a 24/7 champion after he bought it from Alundra Blaze, then you have to recognize him now as a WWE Champion since he bought it from Andre the Giant.
We have to amend the record books.
Yeah, so now apparently Ted DiBiase, if we're going by that, he's he's now a former WWE champion. So there you go, Ted DiBiase, now some 20, 30 years later, WWE champion now. But so he bought that from Alundra Blaze. I thought that was a funny segment. And then, of course, I'm trying to remember what happened. There was so much that happened on Monday Night Raw, and it was, a few days ago now. But another good part of Raw to me was backstage.
Mm-hmm.
They had like this lounge area where all the legends and stuff were hanging out and whatnot. And Jimmy Hart was in there. He had his little his megaphone. Ron Simmons wasn't there at the time, but of course Mike Kanellis and Maria Kanellis, they've been having that little storyline where Maria is basically calling him out for not being a man and for whatever reason. And Maria once again came in, embarrassed him. She walks out. Next thing you know, Ron Simmons walks up. And you know what Ron Simmons is about to say, and he's getting ready to say it, and he looks over at Jimmy Hart, and he gets Jimmy Hart's megaphone, which made it so much better, and then just hollers, "Damn!" into the megaphone, and I was absolutely hilarious there. So that was a nice thing. And then, of course, it all culminated at the end of Raw. Stone Cold came out. They had a big giant toast. All the legends were lined up. Your girl Alicia Fox now is apparently, is apparently officially a legend now because there's rumors that she is now officially retired from in-ring competition.
God.
I know you are going to be excited to hear that. Andrew Lane, any ideas why Hornswoggle wasn't used? R-Truth has been name-dropping him for weeks. Seems strange he wasn't used in a skit with Maverick / R-Truth backstage. I think Hornswoggle's doing some wrestling work with like some other. I don't know. Maybe they didn't reach out to Hornswoggle. I don't know.
I don't know why. That would have been great.
That would have been great. Maybe, like I said, there were so many legends there. I guess also now you say Hornswoggle, it made me think. The comedic aspect of wrestling. Santino Marella was backstage too.
He was rubbing up on your girl.
Yeah, I know he was. Yeah, but I don't blame him. I was like, I was rooting for Santino, man. I love me some Santino Marella. So love me some Santino Marella. So I was excited that he even brought the Cobra with him.
Yeah.
And then of course he had the Cobra. It was all up, and you can't see me on the stream right now. I'm doing like he does with the Cobra, and he when Drew McIntyre walked up, like it's like the Cobra went limp. It was kind of funny there, little innuendo there for you. So that was a funny backstage segment, but
and then RVD, we can't forget RVD.
RVD showed up, the Hurricane showed up, Sergeant Slaughter, and then Kurt Angle. They came out. Sami Zayn was backstage running his mouth as he's been doing the last few months ever since he came back after WrestleMania, and doing his his shtick where he's he was down in the legends, and let's see if I can pull it up. Actually, what he said on Twitter here. Let's see. I had it up here just a second ago. If I can scroll up here just a little bit, I'm almost there. I have a feeling it's getting close. Where is it? I have it. I know.
Is it play-by-play?
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying not to have any dead air here as I scroll. Why
wasn't Tommy Dreamer there? Is he not considered a legend?
He's considered a legend, but
I mean, you bought ECW. He's a legend in ECW.
Hold on, I'm getting there to the Sami Zayn thing because it was pretty high up on. Here we go. Sami Zayn on Twitter. #Raw Reunion was a joke. If I'm still hanging on to this business years after I'm done, you can punch me in the face. Like most great artists, I am vastly underappreciated in my own time. You have me now, and you're blowing it. Too busy missing #glory days that actually sucked. So and it's all part of his gimmick, whatnot. So. But he, and he came out and he had a match with Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio was kind of backstage, and Rey Mysterio is a legend in his own right that's still active.
Yeah.
And, he was defending the legends, as, you'd expect Rey Mysterio to do. So they were having a match, and Sami Zayn was about to get out of Dodge. He was basically wanted to skip out on that match, and then here come the legends. You had RVD come out. And speaking of RVD, I want to talk about another segment that was backstage I told you about earlier this week. That was pretty funny. RVD comes out, the Hurricane, you had Sergeant Slaughter, and then Kurt Angle come out. They don't really do anything. They just kind of basically make a wall on the ramp, which forced Sami Zayn to get back in the ring, and then he falls to Rey Mysterio. Street Profits, though. I want to talk about the Street Profits. A lot of mixed reactions from the Street Profits. I absolutely love the Street Profits. I've seen them wrestle a time or two. They're really good in the ring, but man, I tell you what, they are fantastic characters. And Montez Ford drips with charisma, and he showed up and he was walking backstage, and he went to his tag team partner. I think it's Dawkins is his name, and Dawkins is coughing and putting eye drops in his eyes, and I'm like, okay, where are they going with this? And then he mentions that, I was like, man, I was hanging out with RVD, and then boom, I knew right then and there what they were talking about. So that was
crowd pop when he said that.
The crowd kind of oohed and awed a little bit whenever he said that, I believe. Marcus Talbert, speaking of Twitter, did y'all see about the thing with Lacey Evans and Alundra Blaze? I did kind of see that. Lacey Evans was kind of clapping back at Alundra Blaze a little bit. Maybe I can
clapping that booty or what?
No,
Okay.
not clapping that booty. No, not clapping cheeks. No, certainly,
Okay.
But let's see if I can find that here a little bit because that was very interesting. What she said on Twitter to Alundra Blaze. Let's see if I can find it here. I don't think I'll be able to find it.
Why is she even wasting her time with Alundra Blaze?
Here we go. Lacey Evans responds to Alundra Blaze on Twitter. Let's see if I can pull this up here real quick. All right. Well, this is what Alundra Blaze tweeted. You'll be lucky to be considered a legend. You failed in the military. So I think this was to Lacey Evans. You live in a portable trailer, drag your kid and husband around. Your hubby looked at me, gave me a compliment, and said, "Honey, maybe you could be more like Alundra. Your yesterday's regurgitated garbage."
Damn.
And then Lacey, shooting the real shots. I must have got under your wrinkly skin.
Oh!
Bless her heart. I'm typing this 8 years honorably discharged from serving our country while in said trailer, overlooking lots of land and money in the bank. As far as my family goes, hubby gets it every night and baby is happy.
Yes.
So
God bless
Lacey
him.
Evans. So yeah, Marcus, thanks for bringing that up. I do remember that. That was that's a clap back at Alundra Blaze there.
Now, she was right. Blaze looked terrible.
Yeah, well, she is a one-time 24/7 champion now. So she's won more titles now, this year than Lacey Evans ever has in WWE.
Probably it's not the first time in the last few months she's taken money for something.
Yeah, but Andrew Lane.
She looks like she's walking the streets now.
Yeah, Andrew Lane in the chat. I feel WWE have messed up Drew McIntyre as a credible heel, which is a real shame. He could have been a monster heel. Andrew Lane, I'm glad you brought that up because I was looking at some statistics the other day, and you can go back and even double-check me on this. Drew McIntyre has not won a single pay-per-view match in the year 2019. He has not won a single pay-per-view match in 2019, which is beyond mind-blowing to me because I really thought they were going to push this guy hard. He was going to be one of the top heels in the company, which right now they're trying to make him one of the top heels in the company, but you got to have this guy win a pay-per-view match for crying out loud because at the end of the day, that's where, to me, success is measured. If you can win, winning on Raw and SmackDown is great and all, but man, you got to win these pay-per-view matches. You got to let these guys go over in pay-per-views and whatnot. And Roman's been burying him. He's been hanging around with Shane, who's a ratings killer these days. So I don't know what they want to do with Drew McIntyre, but hopefully, they can do something with Drew McIntyre going forward because to me, they're starting to ruin him. So I agree with you, Andrew. Tom Williams. Thing is, they can salvage Drew if he beats Taker at SummerSlam. Not that will happen. You're right, they could. And honestly, I'm starting to get a little on a rant here because
I see you, bro.
I've been a fan of what Drew McIntyre can bring to this company because to me when he's cut promos, he can cut a good promo. He's got the look, he's got the in-ring ability, he's got it all. But they're doo-dooing all over him. I mean, they're not letting him go over, and he's faced Roman a few times now. I mean, at least let him go over once for crying out loud. I mean, come on. But I'm guessing he's going to face Taker at SummerSlam. I don't know if that's been confirmed yet, but yeah, have Drew go over on the Deadman for real. I mean, what does Taker have to lose now? He ain't,
But does that really put anybody over anymore?
You have a point, but still, Taker looked good at Extreme Rules. I will say that. Taker looked good. Granted, he was in a tag team match where Roman, had to somewhat carry it, but Taker looked good nonetheless. So, having him and Drew go one-on-one, you got to have Drew go over. I mean, come on. Let's be real here. I mean, especially if you want to have him, be a serious threat or a serious, contender. Because at the end of the day, that's where I see Drew McIntyre ending up, being either WWE or Universal Champion. So I guess we'll see. But overall, Raw reunion, to me, I'm going to get to the final segment. It was Stone Cold in the ring. The dude is still as electric as it gets when he's on the microphone. He had me fired up. He had the crowd fired up, talking about, the night before he was, throwing back some beers, listening to old Ric Flair stories. I bet that was a hell of a good time. I also heard about the after party, too. Apparently, Ric Flair, man, he was dancing on the bar and having a good old time. Mark Henry talked about it on Busted Open Radio on Sirius XM, and he used the term that they were getting lit. So, and apparently Ric Flair was given a full, clean bill of health. Apparently the drinking wasn't a problem according to the doctor. So, Rick's now he's slamming back them beers now.
Somebody hand Flair a doob, please.
Tom Williams said, first time watching live, recently got back into wrestling, started watching again at Extreme Rules after at least 12 months of not watching and maybe more, and found your pod, loving it so far. Well, Tom Williams, we appreciate that, man. Go ahead and feel free to subscribe to us on whatever platform you're listening to. Give us a like on Facebook, too, at The Average Mark. So
much appreciated, Tom.
We really appreciate that, Tom. But Stone Cold, he absolutely stole the show for me. He cut a tremendous promo talking about, all the people he was talking about, all the legends up on the stage. All these guys, they've bled, they've cried, they sweated, they've been on the road, they've been through it all. He's talking about the brotherhood and the sisterhood of everybody being on the road. So it was a really cool moment. Everybody came in. Stone Cold had his new beer, his new IPA beer, and everybody shared a beer. I read a thing that Scott Hall wasn't allowed to get into the ring. I thought that was kind of funny.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah, and Mark Henry doesn't drink alcohol. I saw him downing some water in there, and him and Stone Cold, two Texas boys. So him and Stone Cold had a little embrace and whatnot. And
I thought Stone Cold stopped drinking.
Well, he probably this is his own beer. So,
yeah.
But maybe he did for a little while, and maybe he's only drinking his own beer. Maybe he made his beer to where he could drink it and be good health wise. I don't know, but yeah, overall. As far as the current storylines, the best part about Raw Reunion, the current storylines, was Bray Wyatt attacking Mick Foley and using the mandible claw on Mick Foley, which now we're of the assumption that move is going to be passed down to Bray Wyatt, the mandible claw. So
all these recycled moves, man.
But you know what? I'm cool with that because Kevin Owens has picked up the stunner, and now you got if they're not being used. Use them because the fans, especially us old school fans, were familiar with these moves, and stuff like that. So, and I like it. I pass down these moves, because, Stone Cold's not around to use the stunner anymore. Mick Foley's not around to use the mandible claw anymore. Let some of these new guys do it. As long as you got the blessing of a Stone Cold and Mick Foley, have at it. That's what I say. So,
Tom said, Andrew said Lillian Garcia down 3 beers at the end. I didn't see that.
Lillian Garcia, she's been known to down a few.
Yeah?
She's down a few with Stone Cold before on TV.
Guppy?
On TV. See, Austin never finished his story with Gerald Briscoe flying over South Africa doing illegal stuff. I know I would have loved to hear the end of that story. Apparently, Stone Cold also did a podcast with Hulk Hogan earlier that day. I'll be interested to listen to that. Tom also said, haven't caught Raw Reunion yet as watching it in the UK is tough, but it sounds like maybe, just maybe, it's finally on the up. Tom, you would honestly be in the minority saying that because, on the IWC, the Internet Wrestling Community, they weren't too thrilled, I guess. They weren't too up on the episode. Yeah, when it comes to the current storylines with the current superstars, they weren't high on it.
I'm pretty sure that was written way before Heyman came, and Heyman was just like, just do the show like this.
Yeah.
So it's, we already got it. Mm-hmm. Just do it, and then we'll resume next week.
Yeah, but going forward, going into SummerSlam, we're going to start seeing, I think, a little more changes as Bischoff and Heyman are starting to settle into these roles. So we're going to see what's going to happen because, I'm hearing a lot of stuff for SummerSlam that, was not originally what I heard a few months ago. You know what I'm saying? So some things are changing as far as, the storylines going into SummerSlam. But so we talked about Raw Reunion enough here. Let's move on now. Yesterday, announcement, AEW will premiere their new weekly television show on TNT on October the 2nd. It'll be in Washington, D.C. at the Capital One Arena, I think is what it's called, which, okay, that's cool and all. Great. It's going to be from 7 to 9 Central Time, so it'll be 2 hours of AEW wrestling every week on TV now. So I know a lot of folks are excited about that, but the one question that, was in my mind was like, all right, so first show's in Washington. Where are they going to do the show every week? Are they going to do it in one spot, maybe a couple of weeks, and then move to another spot for a couple of weeks? I'm curious to see what their schedule is going to be like going forward. A guy on Reddit was speculating about the second episode, which would would fall on October the 9th, that Wednesday night. October the 8th, the day before that, Jon Moxley has an appearance in Houston, Texas. And apparently the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas, which is pretty much equivalent to the Capital One Arena. It's a basketball arena for the Washington Wizards. The Toyota Center is a basketball arena for the Houston Rockets. So, maybe they're going after these NBA basketball arenas for their shows, which WWE does a lot too. But certainly, maybe Houston, October the 9th, which is down the road from us, 2 hours down the road. Man, that would be fun to go check that out.
I just checked their events page. Obviously, they don't have any information
No,
on there yet.
I doubt they have it up yet. But
like we were talking about earlier this week, I think it would be really dope because the visuals from Fight from the Fallen were absolutely amazing. I say do 3 shows a month at that. Let that be your home arena, and then roll out. Do one every month in another town. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, it would be cool. Absolutely. That Fight for the Fallen arena was absolutely dope. But yeah, but like I said, October the 2nd, which I believe is going to be the same week that SmackDown goes to Fox. So that's going to be a big week in pro wrestling. There'll be a lot happening that week. So some big shows, the first AEW show, the first SmackDown on Fox show, and then, I don't know, Raw's just going to be Raw that week. So you never know. So looking forward to, seeing what pro wrestling on television has for us for the remainder of the year. So.
Right.
All right, so not much to talk about there, and they just they made the announcement yesterday on Twitter. They got their
fire hype video.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right, let's move on now.
Did you see it? Because you just glazed over that.
No, I did not see it. So that's kind of why I glazed over it.
You know what? You also glazed over my Blaze prostitute talk too.
Yeah, I did, but I had nothing to say. I just basically agreed with you. I was like, yeah, maybe
have a little fun there, but I guess not.
No, I mean, I would. No, I like that you want to have a little.
It's too late now.
Yeah, well,
I'm just a little bitter about it. It's okay.
Well, my bad. You know me. I like to have fun, but at the same time, I know we're on radio and stuff, so I try.
I mean, you can talk about prostitutes on the radio,
I guess, but I'm still, that's a gray area as far as I know in my brain. So. I try to make this as family friendly as possible. I know I like to blurt out things, but I try to keep it family friendly in here for the sake of the podcast.
And Bruce Merchant, he's got your back.
Yeah. All right, let's move on now to SummerSlam weekend.
Yes.
Big weekend. That's in 2 weekends from this coming weekend. So, of course, they're going to have the big NXT TakeOver show. I'm going to pull up the match card for that. That'll be happening. So far, only 3 matches have been announced for that show. Adam Cole, Bay versus Johnny Gargano in another 2 out of 3 falls match. I'm excited for that match, but at the same time, I'm not because we've seen this exact match back at NXT TakeOver in New York. Or was it an NXT TakeOver? We've seen it before. Just remember that. Street Profits were taking on the Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Triple threat match. This one's going to be very interesting. It's Velveteen Dream defending against Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong. So that's going to be a pretty interesting match. Also, I don't know what other. Of course, I expect Shayna Baszler to defend her NXT Women's Championship. Hopefully, we see some Matt Riddle on the show. So we'll see. But those are the 3 matches announced so far for NXT TakeOver. NXT TakeOver Toronto. And then, of course, you have SummerSlam, which is going to be the next night.
Going in Impact territory on that one.
Yeah, they've already it's already starting to shape up here. These are the announced matches so far. Brock Lesnar defends the Universal Championship against Seth Rollins. Becky Lynch defends the WWE Raw Women's Championship against Natalya. The WWE SmackDown Women's Championship will be on the line. Bayley defends against Ember Moon. Hey. So I'm hoping Ember Moon can get that.
You've been an Ember Moon mark for a while.
I love me some Ember Moon, man. She's great. She got a great theme. She got a great look. She can wrestle. She can go. She's the full package as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I know it. She just came to the main roster. Within the last year, but give it a little bit of time. She's gonna.
Yeah.
She's gonna be a big player in that women's division. Kofi Kingston will defend the WWE Championship against Randy Orton. But hold on. Did you see the promo that Randy Orton cut on Kofi Kingston on Tuesday on SmackDown?
Yes, I did.
So does that not fire you up just a little bit for this match?
I mean, look, Randy Orton is great on the mic. Does it fire me up for the match? No. Why? Because I'm done with this dude. Retire already.
He can still go.
How many times can you say you've been doing it for so long at the top?
He's been doing it for a while. But at the same time, and a lot of people were talking about, because Randy Orton apparently went back and forth with Will Ospreay on Twitter like last week or something. For what? I don't know. It wasn't nothing serious. But Then a lot of folks on Reddit were talking about, man, how cool would it be to see Randy Orton in New Japan, like a New Japan ring? Like what do you think he could do in a New Japan ring against some of these guys, like in a G1? Like, man, they were just kind of marking out the possibility. Of course, I know that's never going to happen. There's no chance in hell, no pun intended for the McMahon theme song, but there's no chance that Randy Orton will ever be in New Japan unless WWE just royally just tick Randy off, and he's like, you know what, screw you guys, I don't need you, you need me, I'm out of here, which I don't think they really need him that much, but he's a good commodity to have.
Well, apparently that's never going to happen because Vince loves this dude for some reason.
Yeah, he does, but he's a second, third generation freaking superstar, and plus, he's
like all the energy from my body has been drained
from Randy Orton. And mine kind of has too, but
like a wet blanket.
But you know what? When AJ and Randy fought, man, they had some promos that got me fired up for that match. And then now Randy Orton on the mic now is as good as he ever was, in my opinion, I think. And now, granted, he's always been decent on the mic, in my opinion. But, man, the promos he's been cutting lately have just been fantastic.
Yeah, but every match of his has been the same. Like get some new moves, dude. Like, we rerun tape from 2005. It's the same thing.
All right, let's catch up now on the chat here. Tom Williams, I believe, was reported maybe by Tony Khan, but I don't know that they will move around and won't stay in one arena like Impact or NXT. Okay, well, that's good there. Andrew Lane, do you guys see AJ versus Shawn at SummerSlam? AJ saying to Michaels, I know where you work. Don't think I won't come down there. Can you imagine AJ showing up in NXT and saying, hey, what's up, Shawn? Seth Rollins did it before. And then Randy broke the fourth wall on Tuesday, Marcus said. So, but yeah, he was talking about I don't need no no fake Jamaican accent. All I needed to do was be Randy Orton. Man, I was loving it. But back to the AJ Shawn thing. Of course, we were teased with that match back at the Royal Rumble, I think in 2017 when the Rumble was in San Antonio, which is Shawn Michaels' hometown. Back then, AJ versus Shawn would have been awesome. To me now, as much as I would kind of love to see it, Shawn's not what he used to be. I mean, let's call it what it is. Shawn is not the showstopper anymore. I think AJ could carry that match if they were to fight, but and I love Shawn Michaels. He's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. He's probably one of my top 5 favorite of all time. But Shawn just don't do it.
I tell you one that I would like to see, and this would give some of the old guys some rest during the match: a DX versus the OC.
Yeah, DX versus the OC would be interesting. Like, who would be the third member, though?
X-Pac.
X-Pac ain't got no hair no more. He was on Raw Reunion.
I would love to see him give somebody a Bronco Buster.
I would. You know who I'd rather see instead of X-Pac? Road Dogg.
Billy Gunn's still in really good shape too.
Well, Billy Gunn wrestles for what they call AEW. So yeah.
Oh, that's right.
He doesn't wrestle. He doesn't wrestle for him. He works for him though. He's a backstage producer for AEW.
I can't believe I forgot that.
Yeah, Billy Gunn works for AEW. So we're not going to see that happening anytime soon. But yeah. That would be cool. I'd be cool. I'd love to see Road Dogg again, man. Because Road Dogg is one of those guys. I don't know if he can really still go in the ring, but dude,
he wrestled a few months ago, didn't he?
Yeah, I can't. No, he came out with Jeff Jarrett and stuff. He could probably still take some bumps here and there, but as far as an actual match, he might look like freaking Goldberg. You know what I'm saying? So, but Road Dogg on the mic is still, man.
Yeah.
You want to talk about people that are electric on the mic? Road Dogg is still got it on the mic.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, SummerSlam, let me continue. Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt in a singles match. I don't think we're going to get Demon Finn Balor. Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, he's going to defeat Balor. Balor's going to go off into take a little break and probably come back as the Demon and maybe go over on Wyatt down the line somewhere. We'll see what happens there.
Go off on his girlfriend like a gerbil.
Also, Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon. If Owens loses, he will quit WWE. So Kevin Owens is winning that match. I did see a thing a while back. I say a while back, probably a couple of weeks ago, there was reports that Kevin Owens and Shane were going to fight in a career versus career match, which would be absolutely great because you have Kevin go over on Shane. Shane, his career's done. I mean, Shane, Shane, love him or hate him now, the dude has provided tremendous moments in the past, but now his time is done, in my opinion. He when he kind of came back, he could go for a little bit, but now he's practically killing himself in the ring sometimes. So Plus, he's stale now for me. I don't want to see it. Get Shane off of TV. Let him go backstage, help out backstage, do and do the backstage work. You have Kevin Owens go over, and then this kind of starts to me, the road for Kevin Owens to possibly main event WrestleMania next year, because Kevin Owens is starting to get a little white hot, in my opinion. He's starting to get up there, and if you book him right, you can have Kevin Owens go on to win the Royal Rumble, which right now he is my early favorite to win the Royal Rumble. Kevin Owens go on main event WrestleMania and win the WWE or Universal Championship from maybe a Brock Lesnar or Seth Rollins or whoever, whoever's the WWE champion at the time. So I guess we'll see. But right now, that's my speculation of what they could do with Kevin Owens going forward. And so we'll see. But that's all the matches they have announced officially thus far for SummerSlam. There's rumors that we're going to get your girl Charlotte. Did you hear who they're rumoring she's going to face?
No.
Who is the most famous woman wrestler from Toronto, Canada?
Are you Trish Stratus? Really?
That is the very much expected. We're going to get Charlotte versus Trish Stratus at SummerSlam.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I would love to see that. When I saw that, I was like, please don't play with my emotions like that. I would love to see, because Trish was supposed to fight Alexa Bliss at Evolution a couple of years ago, and then Alexa got hurt, and then I think it turned into Trish and Lita facing, who was it? They in a tag team match, and they ended up winning. But
was that Mickie James and somebody else?
Yeah, Mickey and who was the other one? I can't.
Molly
remember.
Holly, was it?
No, it wasn't Molly. It was a current wrestler. So, but yeah, Trish Stratus very much possibly fighting. It's actually they said, I read online, to expect the announcement very, very soon. And then did you see the promo that Charlotte cut backstage on Tuesday?
Yeah, she looked like a giant compared to that other girl.
Yeah, Charlotte's a big gal.
Amazon.
But based off of that, we expect to see Trish Stratus versus Charlotte Flair.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Tom Williams, I reckon Bryan will win the Rumble. He seems wasted right now in a tag spot when he is probably the most talented guy in the roster. Yeah, Bryan's not a bad pick. He's never won the Rumble, so could happen.
Seems like they're still, taking it easy with the whole concussion things.
Ashing F. Vids, R.I.P. Jimmy Uso. So, speaking of Jimmy Uso, we're going to talk about that right now. Jimmy.
Ooh.
So, welcome back to the Uso Penitentiary. So, Jimmy.
Exactly where he's at.
So, Jimmy Uso, for anybody that watched Raw Reunion, saw that, they had the rap battle. The Usos had the rap battle with John Cena. John Cena, of course, brought up their previous DUI arrest. And, right on cue, here comes Jimmy Uso getting arrested again in Florida for DUI, according to TMZ here, pulling it up. Law enforcement tells TMZ Sports Uso was speeding when an officer got behind him and noticed he was driving erratically and swerving left and right. We're told the cop pulled the wrestler over. He reeked of alcohol, and when the officer tried to administer DUI tests on Uso, he refused. Uso was then arrested on DUI charge, and we're told he was also hit with a speeding citation. WWE also issued a statement on Uso's arrest saying Jonathan Fatu is responsible for his own personal actions. So,
yeah, but Vince McMahon's still getting you out of jail every single time.
Well, apparently, this is it was Mickie James and Alicia Fox versus Trish and Lita. That's who it was. That's why you couldn't remember.
That's why I hid it in the memory.
Great job. Tom Williams said, good job. They didn't put the straps on the Usos. So, yeah, there you go. But,
it doesn't matter. He'll be back next week.
Well, so Jimmy Uso, apparently, somebody was talking about maybe they're going to suspend him. Who knows? No. But to me, that's the least of his problems right now, because I did read that apparently, this whole DUI thing is messing with his marriage with Naomi, which, hey, yeah, dude, you might want to get it seems like you have a drinking problem or an alcohol problem or something. You got to get this figured out. It's not your first rodeo with DUI. So
yeah, but like we said before, I'm pretty sure it's because of pain management.
The
dude's getting S-faced so that he doesn't feel the pain anymore.
I mean, maybe not. And then, of course, Naomi seems like the kind of girl, she's going to put up with zero BS, you know what I'm saying? So, and Naomi, hey, man, look, Naomi's that's a damn good woman you got there, man. Mm-hmm. You need to get your P's and Q's in order, man, so that way she don't divorce you and, go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying?
Need to get a good weed dealer. Now, why aren't these dudes, like, they make enough money? Why aren't they, like, getting a chauffeur? Like, why aren't they getting somebody to drive for them?
Well, I don't think they can afford that because WWE doesn't pay for their transportation and all that stuff. So they got to like find their own ways of transportation, and it's probably cheaper to just ride, drive. I'm sure Jimmy and Naomi and maybe Jay they ride together from town to town. You know what I'm saying?
So why are they letting this dude behind the wheel?
I don't know. Because, like you said, he's responsible for his own actions.
He's going to kill somebody one day, bro.
Well, hopefully not. But, one of these days he's going to, dig himself into a hole he can't get out of. So we'll see. All right.
Oh, no, they can still get out of that. You remember the Noxzema girl? She
I don't
ran
know who
over
that
a little
was.
kid in her Jeep, and she got out of it.
What?
You got a billionaire behind you. He's going to get out of it.
What football player got arrested for DUI manslaughter, and he was only 30 days in jail? Who was it? I feel like it was Dante Stallworth, was it?
Yes.
Was it Dante Stallworth?
Yes, it was.
So, yeah, Jimmy Uso is going to be that guy that, DUI manslaughter, get 30 days in jail and whatever. But we'll see. All right. We've been rolling right along.
Yeah.
Let's jump to mail call now because right now, according to my watch, I'm trying to think how much time we got left. We got about 19 minutes left.
19 minutes? Cool.
I think so, yeah. Let's go to mail call. So we got a couple of emails here.
Yeah, so if you want to hit us up and we'll read your email, AverageMarks@gmail.com. This is Megan from Baton Rouge.
Okay.
Go Tigers.
Is that the Megan they have a Megan on the Real World, the new season of the Real World. Megan, I think her name's Megan Melanson.
She from Baton Rouge?
Yeah, she's from Baton Rouge.
Really?
I doubt that's her, but
I don't know. She didn't put her last name.
Well, come on now.
Okay. This is for Megan, and this is to you, and it's a two-part question, actually.
Okay.
She wants to know, Patrick, do you think Nyla Rose looks like a girl, and do you find her attractive?
I think she looks like a girl because when she first came out, I would have never guessed she was a guy because I guess I don't really look for that. And like if I see a girl, because I'm gonna tell you one thing, I'm on dating apps a lot, and I come across transgender women a lot, and there are some you could have fooled me, thought they were straight up women, but. And that's the thing. If I see a girl that looks like a woman, I don't sit there. My first thought thinking, oh, is that a dude? Is that a dude? But of course, nowadays, I don't know. I guess I should start doing that.
Like dingleberries.
But as far as do I find her attractive? Nah. I guess the fact that I know she's a dude now makes her less attractive. As bad as that may sound, I'm sorry. It just I couldn't do it.
All right, and here is the second part of the question.
Oh, so I thought those were the two parts. Okay,
no, that's the first part.
Okay, go ahead.
The second part is Tony Khan has thrown down $100 million for one night with Nyla Rose.
Wait, what?
Do you accept?
Wait, he's throwing down $100 million for me?
Yeah.
With Nyla Rose?
For one night.
$100 million?
Do you accept?
Of course I accept.
Hold up.
$100 million.
Are we on the same page here? Like for one night.
For one night of what?
Like we're not talking about wrestling in the ring, bro.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
We're talking about the Humpty Dance.
I know. I trust me. I know. I don't care. I'll do the Humpty Dance for $100 million. I'll do the Humpty Dance and a wrestler, or you know what I'm saying, like $100 million. That's all. Let's put it this way: for $100 million, I will pretty much do anything that won't kill me or get me arrested.
Okay.
$100 million. Is that what it says? $100 million?
Yeah.
Would you not for $100 million?
No, I definitely would not.
Oh, dude, you are out of your mind. Only for $100 million though.
I mean,
maybe even $10 million. Like that's different type of ring for $100 million. Yeah, dude, come on now. I mean, guys, people in the chat right now, $100 million to sleep with Nyla Rose. Would you do it? Yes or no? $100 million straight cash, homie. $100 million. $100 million would make me forget that night very quickly. Andrew Lane says so. $100 million, dude. I'm telling you, $100 million. I will do anything as long as I don't die or get arrested.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could die.
I mean, I could die, but I'm not. Hopefully she's not. Yeah, look, Tom Williams, $100 million. Hell yeah. So yeah, dude, you're the minority over there talking about.
I mean, look, everybody's got their price. I'm just saying, $100 million isn't mine.
You just heard my price. So Tony Khan, holla at you, boy. We'll make a flick with that.
Oh, okay. Moving on.
All
right. Jason from Lubbock, Texas.
Okay. Guns up, Red Raiders.
Yeah, Red Raiders.
Lubbock, Texas.
He says, Mikey O, I know you work with several Louisiana indie wrestling promotions. Who should we be looking out for? Well, there's quite a few, but I would say I'm going to go with Jackson Castle. We've had him on the podcast before.
Mm-hmm.
He's from Lake Charles originally.
Yeah.
Lived in Oakdale for a little bit. He's living in Atlanta right now. He went to there to train with One Fall Academy, which Cody and Brandy visit all the time.
Yeah.
And then they have a relationship with Ring of Honor as well. So they send their guys to the Ring of Honor dojo all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a really good training facility. I say check out Jackson Castle. The dude is absolutely amazing. He's cut so much weight, so now he's lean, he's clean, and he looks like a freaking wrestler, dude. His in-ring ability has gotten better over the years. If somebody's going to make it from Louisiana, I'd put my money on Jackson Castle.
I want to throw that guy. Is it Chris the Rocket?
Chris Rocket, yeah.
Chris Rocket, yeah. I would throw his name in there too. I've been at the few Full Throttle wrestling shows that I've been to. I thought he was very impressive.
Oh yeah, Chris is amazing.
Yeah,
a great heel, very hilarious.
Yep.
You missed the last one. Him and Nigel had a few spots.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I think Chris Rocket is really good. All right, so that's it for mail call.
That's it for mail call. If you want to send us one, AverageMarks@gmail.com.
Yeah, send us an email. Any question, we'll answer it. And like I said, we rarely get emails. Like I said, the last time we did mail call was a few months ago.
A few months ago, yeah.
In the last few months, we've only got 2 emails, so that's why we
had to wipe the cobwebs off of the email address.
Yeah, so yeah, send us some emails. And like I said, I know a lot. Like Megan, asked me about the one with Tony Khan. $100,000. So thanks for that one, Megan. All right, it's time for Rumor Mill.
Yes.
Got a handful of rumor mills here.
Yes.
The first one is about Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, there's been some words making the rounds that Daniel Bryan could move to 205 Live. And could this have something to do with the announcement he keeps having teased? What's your thoughts on that?
If I would not understand the move to 205 Live unless they really want to if they really want to promote 205 Live, put Daniel Bryan there, put Johnny Gargano there,
Rey Mysterio.
Put Rey Mysterio, who Finn Balor. You could put Finn Balor there.
Snap.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you really, I don't see Daniel Bryan going himself, but like if you want this 205 Live brand to be legit, those 4 names we just rattled off. There you go. Send them there.
Yeah, you put that strap around his waist, totally legitimizes it.
And then you can have those 4 guys, have matches with these other guys, like a Drew Gulak, a Tony Nese, who I rarely watch 205 Live. So, and then of course you got guys that
seems like Cedric Alexander's on the main roster now. Huh?
Yeah, he's on Raw now, but Cedric Alexander was another tremendous 205 Live competitor. And now he's on the main roster, and I don't know what they're going to do with him, but I don't know, but we'll see what they do. I'm willing to bet we will never see Daniel Bryan on 205 Live. No. At least not a full-time, full-time on 205 Live. Maybe an appearance here and there I could see possibly in the future, but not full-time.
Dave Meltzer from Wrestling Observer said that Rikishi was planning to do a stink face spot on the reunion show.
Oh, okay.
But he wasn't cleared to do so by the doctors. So either you had high blood pressure or your butt was just that nasty.
Like, it doesn't take much to put your butt in someone's face. I don't know.
I guess
he's gained some weight, though. I mean, he was already a big dude. And
guess he's not doing well.
I guess
but he still got in the ring.
Yeah, he got in the ring, and they were going to dance, but then they got, the revival came out and ruined that. So
maybe he wasn't even cleared to dance.
Maybe not. I don't know. But he's a big dude now, and maybe he's just not as healthy as he once was. Which is unfortunate, but.
PW Insider says WWE is playing for the trademark WWE After the Bell, and the speculation is it could be the name of an FS1 show. Do you think your boy could be the host of that show?
Who's my boy?
Pat McAfee.
Possible, but they've been talking about doing like this studio analysis show on FS1, like a once a week. It's in studio, kind of doing highlights and whatnot, talking about, I guess, like a week recap. That would be, that'd be cool. That'd be something different, something new. Pat McAfee, I think, if you want to get a sports aspect of it, why not have a former professional athlete in Pat McAfee, who, by the way, Pat McAfee is a national freaking treasure. I mean, that dude, love watching watch-along for the pay-per-views with Pat McAfee. He took the kendo stick to the bag like a champ.
Oh, my God.
Last time from Matt Hardy. Props to Pat McAfee. But I don't think Pat McAfee. I think they're going to get one of the females, like a Kayla Braxton or a Charlie Caruso to host that show, or maybe two. Maybe you get the duo of a Charlie Caruso and a Pat McAfee, or a Kayla Braxton and a Pat McAfee, or something like that. That
maybe
would be.
You bring back like a Lillian Garcia.
Maybe that's possible too. So we'll see.
Always
But I do think they're going to do this. This once a week studio show on FS1. It's kind of the package deal with Fox.
Speaking of FS1, there's been some talk about NXT going live on FS1 opposite AEW's TNT show that could also involve integrating the brand of 205 Live into NXT.
That would be very interesting, to say the least, because we all know how great NXT is. NXT is absolutely amazing. The concern for me is that, all these NXT superstars, their schedule right now, of course, they do the live takeovers, which is about 5, maybe 6 a year, tops. So, hypothetically, you do one every other month. The NXT shows that are on the network right now, they're all taped. They're taped bunches at a time. So these NXT superstars, they got to show up for the tapings every blue moon. Then they got to show up for the NXT takeovers, and that's it. And so now you do a live show every week. Granted, if you do the live show just from Full Sail every week, the travel is not as bad, I guess. So a live show, to me, would be better. Obviously, I like everything live. Everything live these days is live. Like right now, we're live streaming this podcast, and to me, listening or watching something live is so much better. So I would love that. I would also love if they would implement 205 Live with NXT, because I think Triple H is kind of taking over 205 Live, and and have some 205 Live guys versus some NXT guys, and I think that would be great. So once again, I don't know if they're going to do that. I don't know if it would be wise to do that, especially going up head to head with AEW, which a lot of people. But then again, a lot of people that down WWE and their product these days are real high on the NXT product. So that would be to me, a very interesting ratings battle. If you got, but then again, you got FS1 and TNT. You might have more people that watch TNT. More people might catch TNT than FS1. I don't know. I don't know what the numbers are there as far as how many households on average get FS1 versus TNT, but I would think TNT is a little bit more. So we'll see. But that would be a very, very interesting ratings battle, especially if NXT is live and nobody really knows what's going to happen, because nowadays they get taped beforehand and they're only on the network. So I don't know. I would be a very interesting battle. I would be very interested to see NXT go head to head with the AEW on Wednesday nights.
Unc Dave and his crew is saying Wednesday Night Dynamite is the expected name for the AEW TNT show. Of course, we heard that when they applied for the trademark of Tuesday Night Dynamite.
Yep.
And then last one right here, PW Insider is reporting that tiered WWE network offerings are coming sooner than later, and we've been hearing that for about a year now.
Well, they're redoing the what they call the interface, I guess, of the network. They're upgrading and whatnot. Andrew Lane, some in the chat about Will Ospreay. We'll get to that in a second, Andrew Lane, so don't go anywhere. I will give you my thoughts on Will Ospreay, because I love me some Will Ospreay. But the WWE Network, they're doing a lot of changes to the WWE Network, and I'm looking forward to it, because I bought the WWE Network. I subscribed to it the day it was launched back in February of 2014, and I've had it ever since, and I've used it. And they never really updated it, I mean, they've updated the content, but like the look of it, they never really updated it. So I think it'll be cool to have this new updated interface, make it easier. Apparently, you can search for content by superstar now, because you know me, I love Stone Cold Steve Austin. I like going back and watching Stone Cold clips on the WWE Network. So now that I can go back and look via superstar, it'd be a really cool feature. So some things they're doing onto the network to make it a little better, make it a little more user friendly. But I did see that the network subscribers, or at least this is a report, they've gone down since WrestleMania. So. And apparently they're expected to go down even more. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah. How are we looking on time?
We got about 6 minutes.
Okay, cool.
So Andrew Lane in the chat, what are your thoughts on Will Ospreay? He's an English rose in my eyes. Well, I would agree with you, Andrew Lane. I think he's arguably the most athletic. He's up there with like the Ricochets of the world, man. The dude is phenomenal in the ring. I think he can be the next big thing in New Japan Pro Wrestling. When Kenny left, they wanted to basically put Jay White in that slot that Kenny was going to have. But I don't know. Jay White, I just don't think Jay White's a great wrestler, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's going to have as much of an impact as a Kenny Omega did. I think Will Ospreay has a better chance to have that impact like a Kenny Omega did than Jay White will. So obviously I think Will Ospreay eventually is going to get into the heavyweight division. He's going to be IWGP heavyweight champion probably within a year or two. And he's going to do big things in New Japan. So just wait and see what Will Ospreay can do. That's what I think. Tom Williams, just a quick one on Okada's striking as it's bugging me. I really think his forearms are real lackluster. They feel flat and unimpressive, unlike Okada as a whole. Just my opinion, of course. Yeah, I mean, the thing about, Okada, he doesn't really strike me as a striker. You know what I'm saying? He's more of a technician and this and that. So, he doesn't really have that much of a brawler instinct. I guess he's more of a technical wrestler to me. So, maybe his forearms, while they might be a little lackluster, that's not his I'm trying to think of the word here. It's not his forte. So It's not really his forte. He's more of the Hurricane Rana kind of guy, do some technical moves, this and that. Whereas the striking, that's basic stuff. And Okada's above that. So that's just my opinion. Andrew Lane also said WWE will move from Sky Sports in England to BT Sports in 2020 after 30 years with Sky. It's a terrible move for WWE. BT is not available to the masses like Sky was, so that might hurt. Over in England, across the pond, our folks, of course, with WrestleCast too. That affects them. So,
well, for them to make that kind of move, obviously BT might be making a move to become more available.
Yeah, you're right. So I would definitely think if WWE Raw is going to move to BT Sports in 2020, I would expect BT is going to obviously try to get into more households, get with more cable companies. I don't know. I guess they have cable companies out there in England. So we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got a few minutes left. I think we can go ahead and get ready to wrap this one up, Mikey O.
Right on. Thanks for everybody listening on KEZMonline.com and locally here in Southwest Louisiana at KEZM 1310 AM. Thanks to everybody that's been in the chat today. Really cool to interact with you guys.
Marcus, Tom, Andrew, we appreciate it. Ashing Vids, rest in peace, Jimmy Uso. Yeah, we appreciate everybody joining in, and we'll be back next Thursday at 5:30 again. So y'all, like I said, if none of you, I'm sure, I think Andrew's, I know Marcus is subscribed to us. So Tom, if you want to subscribe to us. We'll be back next Thursday, 5:30 on Periscope, Twitch, YouTube. You can go like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter too. We're also there. Andrew Lane, great show, lads. Once again, we appreciate that, Andrew. Tom Williams, final thoughts. Yeah, BT has invested heavily over the last few years. They have the UK rights to all UFC and Champions League football, and I know Champions League is big over there. So, Tom, just subscribe. We appreciate that. Tom Williams, so we appreciate that. All right, guys, we're out of time here. So, Mikey O, like I said, go ahead and take us home, man.
Patrick.
Outro.
Get us out of here.
Outro.
Get us out of here.